Hello everyone and welcome to 90.8 Hills FM. This is your RJ Gugu Haralu. And what else? Today we're going live with three handsome guys.
Thank you.
Monjan, Vika and Linondo. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you so much.
Quite a yellow today.
Yeah, yes, of course.
So with a wonderful weather, it's raining, and to be here at the studio, the voice of change, I think we as the community radio, we're very fortunate to have you here, and also showing our interest to be part of this community itself is a blessing, you know. And what more on a Sunday evening to be talking about better democracy. And I think the whole purpose of us coming together is also to learn from each other and use a common platform like this, you know, and to educate, to advocate, to be, to really expand the horizon, you know, to see how we can work things out better. Because nobody makes it alone, and this is something that many a times we forget that, and I think it's a wonderful gesture from the Dimapur administration also to extend that invitation to include people, and that's how your team came about, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So entirely looking forward, and of course there are going to be more impromptu questions, so be careful with that. Monjan said that I perhaps can become the Arnab, but let's try for the community Arnab, alright? So listeners and also people who are watching right now, we're very, very happy that these three guys are there. This is just a fraction of the team. There are more actually, and they will be coming in the next series under the Team Better Dimapur. And may I also share this, that the team actually got in touch with us and they wanted to do this series with us by using this platform. So basically, that's the whole idea that we have been sharing the last 6 months, that this community radio is your own. And this is where you can actually invite yourself, show your interest, to educate, to make people aware, and also to participate as a member of the big family, Dimapur district. And of course, this is an extension going to Chumukediba. We have another district, Newland, and so on and so forth. And we have had people coming from different districts as well who have participated in sharing news and also sharing about their stories. So today we're going to listen from these three handsome guys from the team Dimapur, Better Dimapur, and see how better is Dimapur doing or has been doing in the last few years that they have got involved. So I believe it started in 2014, right?
Yes.
So how about Monjan sharing something about the inception of the team Better Dimapur? How did it come about?
First of all, thank you so much, for inviting us, and we are so excited to be here actually. Way back in 2014, we started as a team. We started as a team just back over. So then we came to realize there are so many groups. They were like AOK, they were Green Dimapur, Clean Dimapur, and Pro-Rural. There are so many groups. They were here working together. But our motive was all the same, making Dimapur a better place to live. So we thought, why not make one team instead of having so many teams in Dimapur itself. So 2017, we officially launched this team as Team Better Dimapur. So now there is no more like Dream Team. It's one team that is called Team Better Dimapur. So yes, this is here we are. And first, just one conversation we like to introduce again. My name is Monchan. I'm the president of Team Better Dimapur.
Yeah, I'm Vika, and I'm the general secretary of Team Better Dimapur.
Hi, Ninata is Mimi from Czechia, and I'm a member of the Team Better Dimapur.
Thank you. So it's nice that you started off with actually a brief description of how the team came about, and then to your self-introduction. Now, who actually brought this idea? As in, somebody must have had a bulb in his mind, right? And then that's how the like-minded, together and became a team? And is it just a group of friends, or everybody knew each other or didn't know each other? Okay, what's the dynamics of your team?
Actually, I should say this. Everybody has different kind of concept in their mind. So actual thought was from the individual itself, but officially it was been launched by Mo Sangam when he was a DMC CEO administrator.
Yes, yes.
He is the brainchild behind that. But like I said, though he started officially, he comes from an individual to do something good for the society. So the credit goes to both sides. Yeah.
It's wonderful. So were you there since inception?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all of you.
Yes.
So basically, the team members are still there since inception,
Yes.
right? Oh, wow.
Almost.
So what's the total strength of your team?
The core team.
Yeah, for now core team we have 19.
Okay.
We have other members.
We have a general group for that.
General group.
Oh,
So that will make up to 30, 40.
well, that's
Yeah.
great. So 19 in the core team is actually very, very huge.
Yes.
So
That's our biggest strength. The secret.
and are there conflicts in terms of idea sharing is one thing, but coming to a consensus decision with 19 heads, it's not a joke,
Yes.
right? So I'm really interested, how do you conclude in a common goal, with a common yes?
I mean, there is the very interesting part. I'm telling you. The reason is, actually, this group is called an LMP group. So it's like like-minded people. So eventually, what I'm thinking is also thinking almost the same.
Oh,
So slightly just some difference. So what we try is like, he brings his idea, Vika brings his idea, Ninoto brings his idea, I bring my idea. We frame it together, and then we finalize it. And very fortunately, in our team, we also have interior designer and landscaping. And we also have waste management kind of expert over there. And like I said, we are individual from different groups. Like I work in a government kind of thing, so I'm from the education department. Like Vika also is an entrepreneur. And then Ninoto is also a kind of entrepreneur and businessman. So like we all have a collective ideas. So he brings his idea, we bring his, I bring my ideas, and together we collaborate and frame it in such a way we finalize it in the way. So see, at the end of the day, this is not kind of a union or kind of individual kind of thing. So it's very simple and easy to bring it in one frame. The reason and the concept and idea began is like to make this
At the end of the day, it's all about one.
so basically, as a citizen of the district, the Dimapur, it's carrying out your citizen responsibilities. And I think one of the biggest factor that we are challenged with is how do we make common man and women, actually men is used for everybody, but now that with this gender issue, we have to start adding men and women to participate, to take it as their own role, and this is something, it has been one of the biggest challenge in the country. How do we make people participate? And I guess you can help us and also the listeners to understand that the model that DMC is working with, by joining hands with like-minded people in collaboration, in partnership, and also taking up projects that is good for the community. Would you mind highlighting a little bit that why is it important? Like-minded, yes, definitely. But to continue, to sustain this relationship, it takes a lot from you. So you mind each one of you sharing a point or two that has kept this relationship alive, fresh, energetic, and still enrolling people, because it's not stagnated with the same people, right? People come, people go, but it's still continuing this movement. So I want you to inspire us more by sharing more details. How do you keep the flame alive?
Ninoto can start.
Yeah, definitely.
So when we talk about community, it's not about every individual. So we have community about, like, we have the VUCCF, we have the women hall clubs, we have have the churches, we have the young groups like quality unions, presidents, and all. So it's a when we say community, we make sure that everyone participates, not only just one individual, but as a community. That's how we're trying to implement. We go to colleges also, like imparting the knowledge about how to keep environmentally, because at the end of the day, it's the student. It's going to become the future. So that's how we are planning as of now. I think you can get it.
Yeah. Gugu, say something. I think I'm screwing up also.
Yeah, that's again sharing responsibilities. Yeah.
Being an individual, we have a network, we have a circle of friends. Regarding the first point that you asked, so I have my own network, he has his own network. So that's how we communicate, how we impart, how we inform our circle of friends to come together and participate. I think that's the point.
Yeah, that's good to know. Anything different, Wanda?
It's going to be same idea, just one someone simplify this. See, our thing is we have two visions, very specific vision. One is community participation, and the second one is to make this Dimapur greener and healthier. So community participation means it doesn't involve like, see, everyone is busy in their own individual lives.
Correct.
Someone wakes up early in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, goes to work, maybe comes back at night. You don't have time for community. Even they can participate. I'll tell you how. They can participate by not making the street dirty. They can participate by not destroying whatever beautified is done by Team Better Dimapur.
Correct.
That is directly or indirectly they are participating. So that actually includes there. See, as you've seen, there are 8-9 points we have already beautified in most of the places, some may say that Team Better Dimapur kan to banaya hogi maintain nobody. Maintenance some people they give us the challenges also. So I should always say this: you break one, you will do it 10. That's a challenging thing. I'm confident, and I'm not saying alone. We all stand together with the same thing. So Aji no le kalibi, Aji bhangabi kali to tahambi alsi lega na pamo. One day they will also realize, because over the 7 years past experience, we have seen that. Well, them to charta pasta saman bangai dia lo Aji le reduce it one to so we are in that we have a hope that something Dimapur will change, people mindset will change, and see some people they don't do it intentionally. So suppose I take an example of Gurkha. We chew a Gurkha and then intentionally town ke moila guru like paro ana moila guru. Town to mukte chuk to bhi nikla gari bidode philawale philone phila. Some are intentional, some are intentional. But still then they should carry a dustbin in the car. Spinning dustbin. It's available everywhere in the market. Available in online. They can give you the website also. I'll do the dustbin.
I think that's a very generous what do you call gesture, because you're also giving solutions to these problems, right? When you're talking about the street, people actually have not even spared the hospital corners.
Yes.
If we go to the government buildings, it's so interesting. All the dustbins are like properly, kept for spitting. And actually, spitting is also a very contagious.
Actually, it's offendable also.
Yeah, but for us, we don't take it seriously, and all these rules and regulations seems to go to deaf ears, right? And how do you actually create this culture of keeping your place clean?
So I should say this. Should I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
It all starts from your own kitchen.
So when you say your own kitchen, you mean to say your own home?
Yes, own home. What it means, suppose my Gurkha खाएँ my worst speed को नहीं next to the farm. I'll give you a small example. When you drive a car, your kids they are throwing the wrappers, chips wrappers just outside like that. So parents is least border ताला बचा chips ताला बांध के रखते हैं. Least border. Maybe तांगे रोखाइशो बोले तांग गलावत खाला निकलाइशो बोले तो अभी ला गाड़ी पीछे थकावट दिखी ना तो गाड़ी इधर मान भी आगे ला दो सामान निकला है मुझे स्वर पास निकला. That's how slowly do eyes over. calculate so we should start from ourselves. Don't think, oh, let's not try to make it in a bigger way. Let's start from a small thing, from our own kitchen. So I'm like kitchen didn't speak to Gugu. I'm kitchen when you start from the kitchen, then you start from the colony, then come up with Dimapur, then Nagaland, then go further. But yes, we all have kind of a boundary among ourselves, in myself, Like I said that I cannot clean up other kitchen. My own kitchen has no clean food. But I kitchen clean that is doing some see, now I should say this. I want to request through this radio channel. We want to request this public should realize now that let's not talk about US, Australia, New Zealand, New York. Let's talk about Dimapur.
Yes.
Let's start having at least a civic sense. Yeah, they were one bhalo dressing Bangkok to Thailand to Balazi, New Zealand to Balazi, Dubai to Balazi. Let's not say that. We have ethics well maintained, but I know the changes will come tonight. It will take time. But be an example. And that's how that comes under community participations.
Supplementing with Monza, I don't know if there's a saying that everybody wants to change the world, but they themselves don't want to change it. Change follow up. I don't know. Speak everybody follows that. And then you can see the students and then especially IM cars can be in a town. You see airports and all train out, so it looks very bad. It's the educated one. So I think it's a good for
In fact, we had an example also. There was one guy he was just throwing some Pepsi bottle from a Fortuner car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Coca-Cola bottle. Sorry, he was just throwing it out. I was so pissed off. I overtake him. I literally overtake him. Then I said, "You should not do that." And to my surprising, I thought he will retaliate with what I say. He was saying, "I'm sorry, bro." That's how At least we should approach the person. I'm not saying that we are. That's why I'm using the word intentionally or unintentionally. Some do it intentionally, some do it unintentionally. But we have to keep that importance of cleaning Dimapur city, keeping clean our Dimapur city. The reason is we're talking about politics, we're talking about this, that, business, this, that. Let's also talk something about how to keep your city clean. Not just talking about other topics, not about unemployment, not about water, electricity bill. Why not include in your mind today and tonight and think over it and ask yourself the question, then you will see the importance of how keeping your city clean. Like I said, you don't have to come and participate with us. We do social work every Saturday, the last Saturday of the month, and we include churches, union, NGOs, and so many. They don't have to come and participate. I understand the priority and importance they have to the family, the offices, the work. Yes, but like I say, please speak. Do not speak on the walls. Do not speak on the streets. Do not throw garbage here and there from the car. Just there are so many dustbins available. Use the dustbin. If not, keep it in your car and throw it somewhere where there is a garbage area. So let's not make this Dimapur a garbage area. But using the very simple word, civic sense. We should have that. We should start developing that civic sense. Otherwise, the changes will never come. So I should say.
Well, I guess that's quite a campaign there. But rightly said. So, as you were sharing about stopping that car, I was already imagining Mark Haishel. Because that's our retaliation. We're always in. It's like our anger is always on our nose.
Yes.
And the first word would come out like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
No. I mean, who are you? It's my wish. No? Whether it's the educated lot or non-educated lot, that's the first thing we will say. Not the issue, okay, but that's another new issue of who are you to correct me? No? And I think we are not able to speak more beyond that. No? Either it's a flash of being knocked out or you'll end up doing something bad. But I'm glad that at least you didn't get knocked out or the other guy being knocked out for that bottle. Yeah.
It's about at the end of the day, it's about how you
you said that you blocked his car.
I just overtake him. I stopped him once,
Uh-huh.
and I said, he was in anger. Of course, he was giving me the reaction. But I said, can I say something to you? Can you please not throw the things over in the outside, because we have a team like that. We clean up these things. Then he started, cooling down himself.
Oh.
So it's like it's how you approach a person also. You can't always just call and start fighting and keep calling. You can never win that. You can't do
Now
that.
this is interesting because as he's explaining, my mind is like going like a movie right now. Wow, Monjat got so much of seconds to explain, in the middle of the road, because our people, as I said, we retaliate. We don't respond. And who would like to have his or her car stop in the middle of the road?
Yeah.
And how am I accountable to you? That has been our way of thinking that we experience every single day. Look at the traffic. Scooties and bikes, they take the liberty to just conveniently, they don't even know right part jawo lage, not left part jawo lage. And then if you hit, the person who hit your car is the one who's playing the victim card, right? And because these things are all part of the conversation that we are trying to talk about, and it's very much inclusive of it. Having said that, I'm more now interested that the Team Better Dimapur, what has been the biggest challenge? Now you've, like, all the like-minded people got together. Now, what has been a challenge for each one of you? So I would like the listeners to hear from your experience, like your experience, because all of us have challenges when we work in a team, and then after that, you may share with us also how were you able to do it differently, because you've been together for what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Yes, 2014 and this is 2023, so I'm sure a lot has grown from all of you. Changes have happened. You've got to learn new tricks up your sleeve.
Yes.
So I think you've taken PhD degree in this before. Yeah. So anyone can start.
Yeah, Sami.
Yeah.
So I'll say one certain incident. So usually, sometimes some people of a group post group on Facebook and Instagram. So there are certain group of people, they are accountability mahane. So as if we're taking the contract to clean, to beautify. Just want to play a message to everyone. Mahanduko in our contract, nothing. It's just out of concern. Concern at one and concerned citizen, not that social work pin highly concerned, bro. Not for Sabah, the home job to Ahas. I think Manahan give the challenges sector, contract in Korea, we have no obligation to anyone. It's just because of concern for the society that we are together, and that's what we have been for the past many years.
Thanks,
So, regarding the challenges in our group, amongst our group, it's like we all from different walks of life. So, we usually understand each other. Like, for me, to wake up early in the morning, it's okay. I give my time, my presence. But when it comes to office works, when it comes to searching fundings, or when it comes to going interviews, there are some other people. Like, we divide our works.
Okay.
Like, ekjun to sob kam na pare. So we identify who will be the best for the job or who will be the best. So like that, we divide our works. Boy, kam guran de sob manu na hai. There are some members who silently contributes. We don't want to mention. So that's a contribution.
Correct.
So we cannot say apni kile kam de ahane, apni bhi bole lage, apni kile to kuran hai. We cannot complain. That is how the team works. Over the years, I have learned so much from my seniors, from my friends, from my colleagues. So kidya bhi sob manu contribution dekhta na denge. We have different kind of minds, contribution, abilities. So we never complain, and that's how we work. So I think the challenges we face, but itu challenges as we overcome that. That's it.
That's nice.
Muncan can supplement.
Yeah. So what has been your challenge?
Actually, of course, like first when we started, Buri Amala moved to first to last. So, there are so many discouraging things that happen in
Uh,
one काम गर्नु कुनै होइन appreciate गर्नु पानी भी निदिए नि लागिन अरू complain मानुरा आइना नगाइदिबो complain करी प्रेग्नी बुढिया मान्छेना सुसुसको नाममा निजे complain गरिना बिहा पाइदिएन but over the years and things and all we have realized that it's no point complaining so we have a vaccine of antidote for that
that's
stop
good to know.
complaining when stop complaining our vision and objective to reach that like the project could have suppose like the small project could have to do project to kina complete could focus on that rather than let's not focus on something else then automatically everything will be carry off it will flow only man ekta jane point to kina ajita obviously everyday challenges ajita wall banao man kali to bhangina thake only man mind they set koina ase ki kali bhangili bi kune man jana banao de so we are well prepared one day ahead even we have lot of challenges like sometimes we face water problem logistic भी मुझे पानी ना खरीदले सीमेंट खाना काम करना पड़े कंक्रीट खाना काम करना पड़े we always have a pre-plan that is the best part among our team we always work on plan A plan B so like there is always a plan A and plan B so that is the reason we could complete this and we could reach this up to this extent I should say now one of the problem I'm facing right now is like I feel like not only DMC who is always been sponsoring us to make the beautify the Dimapur I think it's not only the DMC some other department should also come up
Yeah,
and
that's
we
a
are
good
ready
point actually.
and we are ready to not as a contract I'm making it clear on this Hills FM not for a contract
Correct.
I'm making it clear but anything that can beautify Dimapur now like for an example like we are recently doing a project in our Panhad area on the beach side we have started with the pollution control board
Yes, pollution.
Nagaland pollution control board has given us some few amounts like 2.38 something so but the amount that we spend is around 5 to 6 lakhs now we also now surprised like how the money has come up with this there are so many people who have contributed some are silent contributor they don't want us to mention their name we some from the department some from the minister things like that so that's how we have come up but we don't want to go this system to be very honest and fair I don't like this system asking people for help now we also want to have some kind of peace so department should also maybe put a trust on us at least a 10% and see what we do and what we have been doing and very honestly I'm not saying that that we try to cut our own share from it there is nothing like that in fact we spend our own money our fuel our time so many things our even our expertise whatever we we are spending there over there so we're trying our best with very simple motive that we want to make this Dimapur a better place something beautiful I don't want to talk about like I said about US America and all so even I want people to say like oh Dimapur is a beautiful place it is changing now change is coming so change is coming we'll start from Dimapur not from Nagaland
It's a gateway, Nagaland, Dimapur.
Yeah, actually it is. Dimapur is the hub, where multiple communities reside, and many have quoted Dimapur as mini India. Yeah, and it's a transition point of so many places, and the facelift is very important. But more than what is visible to our eyes, it's also about our behavior and attitude that stays in the minds of every individual. And I think, as you've said rightly, we can't bring change overnight. And I think also that, and I'm sure you agree to it, and I'm sure the listeners also agree to it, that whoever has experienced change, they will understand when others are making efforts. But for those who have not experienced change in their lives, they will always complain and be disheartened and also discouraged. Yeah? So my next question to you is, what has been the most encouraging compliments that you have received in your last 7 years as individuals? Maybe we can start. Yeah.
We during the past 7 years we received a lot of encouragement of course like we have been talking any criticism, but kumpa ase good souls. There are some good souls who appreciates us, appreciates our works. From I should start with this from our family members, my wife, my families, tala parents come really she encourage good. So that's something which boosts us family work. And churches, some few churches, I don't want to mention the names,
Yeah.
but kumpa churches they she pray for the Mahan Kali. So that's how we keep coming till this day. So encouragement though specifically itu aja ini aja itu bukan bro. I cannot mention, but they are very good compliments, very good encouragement that we have received from the past 7 years. My other colleagues can add to that if they remember. Yeah, you know.
I think compliment to I think without the family backing I think I'm cool now. I think that would be the best thing because like mahan ghar pa like I think काम तो बहुत सारे हैं तो family handle कर so if you have more responsibility to family I think hard to run I think so the best compliment would be like the family taking the responsibility of us you know that's how like we are able to come out
They never complain.
yeah complain that I was नहीं तो उतार बाहर जाए बोले तो मैं हंसे वो देखिए तो नलाओ इधर वो हमें कौन ना there's certain shares
Yeah.
and then criticism तो होए था क्या बोले भी कौन ना if you justify all the criticism then I think the main objective main कैसे तो no perjury के so I think with the positive things that we get I think that's how we are continuing for the past many years no I think that's family mostly
Everything is expensive in Dimapur, except criticism. It comes in wholesale.
One
I
guy always
should-
has something.
Yeah, you should start with that. But yes, of course, like I said, I'll narrate a small story. It was 2 years back, almost 2 years back. We are having a painting over the divider, so we painted also in fact. So during at night around 7:30, there was one auto driver. He just stopped.
Okay.
Yeah. And he stopped me. And I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We have a team and we do this thing, you know. In a year, sometimes we paint the dividers and all that." Then he took out his purse. So he's an auto driver, okay?
Okay.
He gave us 200 rupees.
Oh.
So like I said, how much did you earn today? I said, I earned only 600. But I'm giving you 200. So like I don't remember his name also. And it was like in a hurry-burry kind of traffic, so I couldn't get his name. But the 200 note that we put up in the Facebook, in fact we have the Facebook account also. It got viral, I think. It got a little bit viral. So there are some people, you know, they want to encourage us, and we don't expect that. Now, there are like shopkeepers also. They give us free water. Sometimes, you know, free colors also. We get a lot of free colors from the Asian paint. They come all, yeah. They give us a free kind of.
we got some menu also
Yes. Even menu also we get more free.
Really?
Yeah. So, looking at that part, you know, we do the criticism.
Yes.
Now,
It was very small.
Yeah, it's very small. And like I said, now one branch, now people are never satisfied with anything. If Sri Tawala Mata Podemon Diamond Dali Dishes, we left there's a low price. So we are okay with that. We are ready to get criticism. But हमारा objective तो है Dimapur एक अलग जगह सुंदर जगह होने वाला है कि वहाँ Dimapur जगह Dimapur सुंदर आज दे इतना हमारा vision है ना So that is the only story I have.
But that's so nice, the way you put it. I mean, we'll never be satisfied. Human selfishness is so huge, and we're so unsatisfied species, you know, that the more than the needs, the wants are huge in that manner. But I must say, congratulations
Thank you so much.
us to you, because as a community facilitators and ambassadors, it is never going to, and you knew that it was never going to be easy. And knowingly, you all have got your hands into this, in spite of your own challenges and responsibilities, personally and professionally, taking out time. You know, everybody has time, okay, but many choose not to take out time.
priority
And yeah, so the way you all have prioritized, it's such an amazing example. because everybody can contribute,
Yes.
but it's a choice that we make.
Correct.
And for the last 7 years, and we hope that you continue this relationship, this bond that you have, because I'm sure it has brought some changes in you.
Yes.
So how about let's talk about changing the face of Dimapur absolutely on the positive side, but how has that also changed you in your personal life?
Uh, I was the one in Dimapur who was throwing garbage from my car. I started with that. So, even when we started in 2014, we were first painting the civil hospital.
Okay.
So that fully part, no, the civic sense has not come into my mind, I should say, in my personality, in my character. So during the time, like, we do paintings and all, but I was the one who used to throw garbage from the car, throwing the my car, like then I started realizing, what's the point I'm doing this thing? So itabi ina wala mohi no puru wala mohi no purna dikhai su automatically wala bacha no puru wala magiwara no puru. I don't have to tell them, they themselves will realize that monsan no puru mohi no puru. So slowly that's how we started. So suppose you take an example of you sit in your friend's car. Talking a friend of tala gari ko sapa agi really ekta saman phelaulilo sorom lagyo na.
Yes.
The phelaile gari to sapa ade. Itu jina moi nije first start ko lagi jane ko lagi na. Mane gari sapa da ase to jina sapa jaga de phelaule mon. Mujula sense thaibo lage. Only the sense na nagat no. So that is what I'm also learning, and still I'm also learning. There are a lot of things, so many difficulties, so many challenges. Now, like you were mentioning, tactics to change kona jai ase mo. So you might say like team better dimapur man kaam kori ase na ki kori ase. Okay, fine. See, we are not the only one, by the way, doing a good job in Dimapur for cleaning and for painting or whatever to purify, to make changes in Dimapur. We are not the only one. There are also some silent groups. They also do it, just that they don't want to come in media and all of that because they used to approach us. There are some churches we don't want to mention. There are some groups, and even now we have joined with us. Things like that, So there are some other organizations also. They are also wanting to. They are doing the part also, but they are silent. Just to hit on that, not just our team. So team better Dimapur class is beautified already. They are also some team. So the changes we are talking about. So over the years I have realized that I should be an example if I'm in the team. So that's how I'm doing it. Carry forward.
Pass the buck to the next one.
I think like my Manjan said, as a member of the team, I think we are setting an example, not burden, because like you're part of the team, and then again now So our team we had one motto called like make your pocket your first dustbin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So later on you will find I think the papers and all you find my car and my pockets and all. So it's a literal down of it. So jama and then we just pile it up in one place. No, otherwise like see a lot of many wrappers and then covers and all in and around. Literal city. Maybe plastic la solution is jama maybe jama literal confusion. I think that's one thing. So I think we'll have to collect one point or in a jama I mean. Growth hane solution later on as of now the plastic solution have new point for us we consider literal the spread no na so if someone in literal in jora kina ina na jama ko na kina ni maybe the rest there is some solution I will use about na I think that would be good ni some say randomly apply na
Adding to that, so sense of responsibility, sense of ownership, cleaning is part of books. The demand project during the 7 years. Team de I join corruption in Olivi. When I first joined the team, my responsibilities to Janin yeah, I was aware of that, but practically though I was new. So during the course of the time, my bhamna bushi aya my kile do plastic can later on switch la packets example utka packets if I may say it's not any but then gradually I started to remind myself that mo itu pocket lagawa like to say First dustbin should be our bucket. So ina kung mandire is there. So moi pocket te laga bisi to moi kude jai letara no de. Paradok to moi sapara kide. To moi posti jai lagi ina so mangi koi lagi. Moi la family is ngai koi lagi. And then one incident, my friend, like church te kam lagi. He gave me one day he gave me a chance to speak in the church. A small gathering youth la. तो मैं भावना पड़ा कि को ना first cleanliness ही को मैं सदी के प्रवेश मांगे can I speak on cleanliness topic कुछ तो ताई ठीक है से कोई कोई ना तो दादी बड़ा मैं कुछ बाइबल ला तो अभी मन को ना पढ़ो वाले भी as a brother elder brother अपने हम लोग उठी ना मैं encourage कर ले मन ना तो first man एक बार cleanliness पे focus कर जाओ because कोई church ला बाइबल ला तो सब itu pastor kan nali church te kam gora han gora ini amu ki chance dia to shiku shiku bai to rom itu ko go ina ko do koi changes I see yeah there was the changes many friends many brothers sister cousins tahan bi man sai na khushi bai oh dada de ini ase sati to ini ase to moi platform kuti jai moi any platform that I'm given or that moi ki de moi de bi de cleanliness to নিজের পর start করবি first example अपनी switch का আছে की काजे लेटरादो तो पेपर न होले भी प्लास्टिक का तो फर्स्ट पॉकेट पे लगा करी ने रही itu ना dalam plastik so that's how I give my message in our organization to that during the course of the time that I have learned so much is making my pocket as a first dustbin in our to changes to IUNAS.
Wow, that's really, really
in
nice.
fact, Gugu, that is why we are focusing more on the community participation. For example, you take your colony people, हमने यहाँ दिल्ली colony में सफा कर दिया, ताई नीचे आके ना सफा करा करने ताई दुख तो जाने next time जाने के लिए. That's where we want people to participate in cleanliness of their colony or city. It's okay, don't you cannot. हमने यहाँ participate करना पड़ेगा. मुझे ला colony भी ऐसे, हमने यहाँ भी social work था. Obviously now see, most of the people. They have realized, colony नहीं तो सफा करना चाहिए, तान इचला सफा करना चाहिए. जब तान राई ना morning जो उठी ना इना social work करा तो तान itu साइन जाते हैं खुशी सफा तो.
Yes.
आरो फिलाओ बोली भाई morning तो सफा खुशी तो. I like the realization. That is the reason we want community participation. That's what exactly our point and our target was.
So this the cleanest colony, right?
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say it? What was that? What is it?
Cleanest colony
Yeah, the cleanest colony competition. What has been the experience of that? Were people keen to participate initially, and what is the outcome right now of those colonies that participated? Their feedbacks.
See, now Minoto has different ideas. He has different ideas.
Alright.
So people at the time, I cannot say that they were not ready. Currently, colony the sabar on jai. Only just that nobody took an initiative.
Alright.
It was like everyone was like quick sabar on jai, sabar on jai. Nobody was there to take an initiative. So that is the reason that idea has been put up in the colony is about. And it has been a tremendous change. Tremendous, I should say. We have before and after pictures also. We give it with recommendations and everything is there. So I think DMC is doing a fabulous job in giving them award with that. And that's how I think Koima also started. I heard that they are going to soon start things like that.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you're being.
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I heard like that.
But if they do, it's a very good example
But
because
that's
these
how
are.
the ripple effects.
Yes, absolutely. Because if we are able to influence whatever agency who has the power and authority, to include such initiatives, it's the good for everybody. Because Kohima, there was a viral news on flower pots vanishing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, one time.
And it was very, very embarrassing. And even the Kohima scenario is something very similar where a lot of individuals and like-minded team make effort in beautifying Kohima. Personal contribution, team contribution, and every time there's like picking up of trash, going to Zuku, and all these. A lot of people got influenced. Eco clubs, like you're sharing, even in schools, among their cousins. Children are also participating. So I think this influence should continue,
Yes,
should
of course.
expand, and just so happy to know that the way and in the manner you all have, um, wired yourself by saying, stop complaining, just focus on what you're supposed to do, because criticisms will keep pouring in. And like you all shared about the City Tower, which is our Paris Eiffel Tower, Dimapur Eiffel Tower, even if you put a diamond up there, also people will still complain about it, So let the complaint keep going. Perhaps that is an energy pill for all of us
Yes.
to continue doing good, I sincerely believe that if there is strength and power in evil thoughts, there is strength and power in good thoughts.
Correct.
And I think we need to continue increasing this percentage every single day from all of us. And when we get together, that's amazingly powerful, So having said a lot about the team now, I'm going to go now to individuals. So I want to start with, yes, the middle guy.
Okay.
So the middle guy, Vika, can you tell us something about what do you do? What do you do? What's your profession? See, you got two mics already for you, yeah?
Apart from this social work, I'm full-time business entrepreneur.
So what kind of business do you do?
Garments,
Oh, ladies or men's?
what?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where's the shop, if I may ask?
It's in Mallory.
Oh, so we have to go to Mallory now.
And
So how's it going? How long has it been?
actually, my mom is running and I'm doing the marketing.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you know how to do marketing from
Marketing
before?
manager.
Marketing manager. Yeah,
Mind you, huh? Oh, that's nice. So, can you tell our, viewers actually, and even the listeners who have tuned to the radio, for us, we've always said this, that Nagas don't come from the business community, right? And there has been a constant flooding of comparing ourselves with the, different communities who have done businesses through, for 100 years, right? And we're just the first generation, or perhaps the second generation for some, or some for third generation, but very few families who have gone into businesses, right? So what do you think about that? Because you're saying you're a marketing manager, but I'm speaking from the place like as a Naga, was it difficult for you? If you've studied, that's a different thing. If you've had a formal, education in marketing, that's a different thing. But overall, why do we, because on social media, I keep seeing competitions, all right? Vocal for local. But when we go for local, ya dam to na kuilibi vocal. You just take you just feel like skipping, no? Rather than getting attracted, you get distracted and you rather go to another shop which doesn't even have any quality, but you don't want to heckle. Like our people are like, ahibi na ahibi, kinibi na kinibi. They're very, very, it's like you just can't, you don't even want to stop or continuing more than 5 seconds. So why do you think that happens with us? And since you're into business, are we lacking something in us? Just through your experience, okay, Vika? Just your experience.
Okay, I'm just a starter
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Uh-huh.
So it's a kind of family business. My mom started this in early 2000s. So when she started with a small little budget. But gradually, we are so happy that we are very much dependent to our livelihood is dependent to our business. So during this course of our time that we have developed in our business, we should not focus much on the government job or any government job, but there are some other schemes or other scopes where we can earn our livelihood. So business, let me just shift this to Mallory,
Yeah,
the mind
sure,
of the
sure.
whole set. So
Absolutely.
during पहिला दिन त्यो Marwari Khan from other state, they used to come and then they run the business. But later on, we started to realize that Mahan Nisho Parubo Wina start Kuralas. So why should we depend much on others when we have the education? Because it would say after starting the business, ite to manubishi graduate kurina na already studies ko to mo ina sab manu business to pola unemployed however business to jazi. So I don't want that to be an option, but I want them to take it as a profession because it has a very big scope in the business. So challenges भी बिजी था इसे will be now say mahala family di kiman ase mahal सब business itu family la business tadi itu set up kuraba mahan tadi livelihood itu सब tibenas. So why only government jobs? Only business tibi ase. Aro the second question, the one which you mentioned, vocal for local walahandi. Of course, I have not much experience to that because we are not the business where we product our own, when produce our own products. Mahanijo banala no, but I buy my mahala business to Guwahati and Kolkata, Dimapur, sub supply ko dege. So I don't have much to say on that.
But would you not agree? Okay, I'm not putting words in your mouth, all right? But would you not agree that the local business people, or let's say wanting to be business people, actually charge us a lot, you know, of a simple item or a product, no? Yeah.
True. I agree on that.
Yeah.
I have a good Marwari friends. I हम suggest करेंगे. अपनी किधर business start करो, अपनी ला business capital. जिधर अपने का सामान लुइसे $200 so you can sell it by 200, but the capital should run. Business to ina run grow lagi, stop na grow lagi. But many of our Naga friends or Mahan Saiju Mahandu, if we buy the item for 200, we tend to sell it by 400, double the price. So that's where the business fail. That's where the system crashes.
So we don't know the basic ABCD of business, first of all,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And neither are we interested to learn, because there are a lot of information out there how to start a business. But not wanting to learn is the danger. Now, information line no, we for then another including that we don't like going for trainings. Training ko siya to sab pulay jay. Na, there are more priorities in their list. But training is actually for yourself, not for anybody else. And whatever learnings that we get, it's for our own growth, right? So somewhere something has really gone wrong in our wiring, and I sometimes wonder that when you say okay, government job now versus being entrepreneur, I honestly feel that not everyone can be an entrepreneur. I cannot be an entrepreneur. I know that in myself. But definitely I can be a good facilitator as a consultant, you know. So as a consultant, it is also not necessary that I have to do business. You see, so how do you identify yourself that whether you are I mean, everybody's giving, in Nagaland, it's mandatory, every child should at least experience once giving civil exam. एक बार तो भूखी लगे ना mandatory ऐसे whatever your marks is एक बार तो coaching तो जाओ लगे ना yeah it has become like going to the military force ना that once in your lifetime you have to serve that's why coachings are mushrooming like anything.
Yes.
And the amount of resources that is spent on these coaching institutes, so somewhere we have also not identified what we are good at and what we are not meant for. No? And the straight answer is government job. Beyond now, we power again. And this has been a tradition. In fact, made into a tradition. It was never a tradition. It was made into a tradition. And unless this individual, young people, they've been so swiftly, comfortably, coaching. But none of their lifestyle shows they're coaching, you know? They're sitting on that book. So some of the social media, I'm an active social participant, you know, on social media handles, and I keep reading, all right? And it's very interesting to notice that where your opinions would be sought here, and I'm sure you're observing this, that we call, you know, very interviews, most of the time people say, oh, I'm educated, unemployed. Well, where did your education go, first of all? You're supposed to be employed, and the reason for being employed is that's why you're being educated, right? So how do we even introduce ourselves? It will be now proudly, I'm educated, unemployed. I mean, it's so embarrassing to even quote yourself that means you are unemployable, basically. You don't have, or you don't know how to sell yourself. So where do you think these basic vocabs, or for that matter, where are we failing, according to your experience and observation, with the youth of Nagaland? Not just today, but in the past. There are seniors who have not even got a job, and they still sit on that educated, unemployed title. And don't you think so? We sometimes feel we're too self-entitled. We stay in our own home, we have our own land. In fact, we Nagas don't even know what to do with our lands. And people are actually tilling on our lands on lease, and they are profiting more than the real land owners. खेती भी नकरा हो जा से तो मोइगान ना our town day, city day, we're migrating in a huge way, and our villages are becoming empty. So I'm just accumulating everything because we stay in Dimapur, but as all of us as social, workers in our own respective field, and since we involve with communities, I don't think so we can skip this particular conversation. So yeah, the ball's in your court.
I think it's been wired in our brain, like, basically you have to give education. So I think from the very child, I think we are not allowed to dream. I think we all should have dream. So when you have dream, you have dedication, as quoted by Walt Disney. Dream and dedication is a very powerful combination. So I think if you have a dream, so education is okay, but you need skills to sustain. So education but you won't be able to sustain. You will see a lot of young, youths, nowadays first generation entrepreneurs, business, like those who do business, they're doing very good on education because they have the skills.
All right.
So I think skills is very important, and I think we have to be trained to like that. We should be allowed to dream, not to cut off the clip of the dream. So I think choice do like if you see the education system of the Japan, so till I think what I heard was that till class 2 they don't have exams, so they are given training skills and the sense of belongingness, society so that they don't become a burden. Man illegal because Dimapur is a mixed community from every district from states, so it's very difficult. So I think grassroots from the child, I think the product has to be from that way. So I think the burden the out of the community. So I think we are allowed to have dream.
That's why the Disney World has that thing, DreamWorks.
Oh.
So what about you?
Actually,
Very much.
Yeah. See, although these, I'm also from the aviation background. So, in 2006, when I graduated from South Asian College, I was in Bombay. So all the years I learned that this soft skill and the interview skill should also be added in education syllabus. The reason I'm telling you, just be practical. Okay? I'm just being practical.
Yeah.
After graduate, there is no job over here.
There's no job, or
I
a
should say
job
that.
has not been created.
It's not
And
been
shouldn't we be
created
the
and
one-
there is, see, now you are graduate, okay?
Mm,
I'm talking about 5 years back.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Now they are not credit friends over here. Even small malls were not available, like Vishal and
Oh,
say, yeah,
yes.
even Jagenji were not available.
It's
Just an example.
booming right now.
Yeah, it's booming now. So that should include in syllabus in the when we reach a college
Mhm.
level or class 12. The reason is we are good. Everybody get educated. Now, when you go for interviews and all, most of the people they fail because they don't have a soft skill and they don't know how to face an interview. So they should include that. So I am not against the government, but what government is spending so much of money privatizing and having a soft skill classes over here instead of that, actually that is being our skill has been utilized in Bombay. And we're giving a training from here and then they are taking, they're having the
Equipments,
over there. So what's the point? Let some institution have to be. Let government save that money for something else. Let the institution add that syllabus, soft skill interviews, and how to face an interview, things like that. And as the world is, now world is a lot of competition is there. So just study is not everything. Has to be side by side something, professional courses, things like that. Maybe of course, aviation course or computer courses, job-oriented courses, orientation has to be included in that. So that after they graduate, they also secure that somewhere or other they are going to have a job secure. I think that should include that. But that is the reason. That is the reason we are also one of the reason we're making. And now, today's youth, they are getting a certificate called ML certificate,
What is that?
mobile legend.
Well, I think I've learned something new today. ML, okay, mobile legend, yeah.
So
yeah.
they are whole day they're spending on that, and the best reason they could give is parents could give. अपने बच्चों के लिए काम हो गया। Maybe frustration ना होगा नहीं mobile ही खेलना पड़ेगा। That's very easily they are, finding a way, and that is I should blame the parents for that also. Send them somewhere, let them do something else, Maybe they can socially participate in the churches or in the NGOs or whatever. Let them have a work experience. Then they will come to realize that I should work. Then only they will have the responsibility. Then only they have the sense of my काम को से उल्ले मैं do all this survive. They will know the reality. Otherwise, being over there and taking the certificate of ML will not do.
Well, I think on a very good note, this actually reminds me of dignity of labor. And I think our ancestors and our elders really knew what dignity of labor was and is. And our generation, especially even among our friends, they've become, some of them have become very lazy. They're so comfortable and very indifferent to what is happening in the society. In fact, they're not even part of the society. And I think a lot of people who are in the position to make a greater difference are away, they're not involved. And that's why problems are also rising. Now, this morning in the church, Pastor Alan had shared about a counselor who is experiencing the breakdown of our society. And he shared about how his lady friend spoke about children in class 6, 7 and above. They are sharing about, the sense of loneliness. Sexual relationships at a young age. And parents have no clue how to handle. So we're very, very unprepared with many social issues that is emerging in our society. Neither we want to talk about it, neither we want to get our hands into it, and we leave it by saying that, let somebody else handle it. School is responsible for it, church is responsible for it. But as parents, many of them don't know how to handle it. So who's going to bail each other out, right? So these are some of the things that perhaps we all need to be attentive, sensitive, and today's message was being encouragers to others, And how can you do that? By doing something good, by sharing word of encouragement, and investing on people who need help. You know, and I think that's what you all are doing.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what we are all doing,
Yes.
and we need to continue that spirit. And I do believe that all of us have the ability to make a difference, whether it's personal or professional, and it's actually a choice. You know, it's a choice. And thank you so much for letting us also know the impact it has had in your personal spaces of a changed behavior. It takes time, definitely, but once you make your mind, there's no stopping of you, whether it's the good energy or the bad energy. And today, the community radio, the listeners and the viewers who have tuned in today and who will be listening in days to come, they will and they have benefited through your sharing. We are very fortunate that, you know, everybody talks about change, you know, but like Minoto has shared that who's going to be part of that change, you know. And all of us, we have a lot of social media warriors, but I'll tell you one thing before we sign off. You know, I've invited people on WhatsApp groups. We can spend hours, day and night chatting, but you invite them to a space like this to come and have a discussion on the particular concern that is being discussed. I'm telling you, nobody volunteers. And this has been the biggest struggle for many, many years. And these are big talkers, all right? So it makes me wonder that if you can see so much on a WhatsApp and on Facebook, why is it difficult for you to make yourself visible and come up into a bigger platform and dialogue this out? And this is where we are going wrong. We say that, oh, social media is a powerful tool. But how are we using it? We're actually becoming more narcissistic and saying that social media can't change, I should really. But we actually need field workers, man.
Yes.
No? So I think these are some of the things that we as young people, and I do consider all of us young, you know, even you as well, even if you're married. But I think all of us need to continue encouraging others, ourselves, to go beyond our comfort zone. Just because you have also been there in the Team Dimapur for 7 years, you should also not get comfortable. We being in the radio station, we the artists cannot get comfortable. We have to be updated, current affairs, we need to socialize. You know, there's so many things that we need to keep in mind when we are actually running an interview, because there are do's and don'ts from the ministry. You know, you can't just say whatever you want. So the freedom of expression is also being abused by our people, you know, saying that it's my wish. No? Now, very unfortunately, since we're all for community, it was very unfortunate to get to read the recent viral that went out with Max Naga. You know, this is something that we need to start reflecting. We don't clean our kitchen and we go all out there talking about other people's, and sometimes we're very discriminating in our reporting, bias in the way we do things. This is one example that I wanted to put out today because I really didn't know that was Max Naga, you know, the way it came on. Later on only I got to know, and it's very sad. So I think as Nagas, if we don't reflect on our behavior, we're going to be a laughing stock. You know, tribalism for that matter. We're very good in correcting other people from other tribes, but we are very bad in pointing on our own people who have done wrong, and we justify, and we even become apologists. So how are we going to bring change? No? So I think this mindset changing, our generation has to set an example. We cannot go back to the past all the time and say, oh, to the babala time, grandpa. Yes, that's a fact, we accept that. But what about us? When are we going to draw that line? No? And I think this is something that we look forward in the next series of conversation, because as Better Dimapur, we the community radio, as a member of that community, I think we need to have these kind of healthy discussions. This platform is for that. And honestly, it feels sad when we invite people, they don't come. Not offline, they hate they like to, because there's no responsibility of that offline chat. But when you come out visibly like this, it takes a lot of courage, you know, to put yourself out there, have an independent, autonomous thought, and stand by it. And we lack that in our society. And the louder somebody speaks, that becomes a truth. And your silence is taken as a weakness. So I think I'm very encouraged today by three of you coming to this studio and opening up with us. And we want to continue this new relationship that we have just initiated. And thank you also for reaching out to us and saying that you're interested, because that gives us also an encouragement. Shiro is of course behind the camera handling it. He is our the audio guy along with Bendam, so they do shifts. But we as young team, it's our generation that has to set an example. So thank you very much. Is there any last word for today's talk that you would like to send out to our listeners and viewers?
Well, listeners, through this FM, I would like to say that Team Better Dimapur is not a team, it's your team. So join us for a good thing and for a good cause. We are all trying to beautify Dimapur, and I want you to be there, mentally, physically, financially. And to the department, I want to appeal that if you're willing to do it, the department, any kind of beautification in Dimapur, Team Better Dimapur is here. Like I said, not a contract, but
Yeah.
together we can verify. Like I said, we have a page on Facebook, we have a page on Instagram. So please do follow us. And like I said, this is not a team. Together we are a team. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hills FM. Thank you.
Right, so I guess, are we still on? If we're still on, thank you very much for listening in and viewing this live show with us. And we're going to have more of such live shows. And we want to encourage you to call us, let us know if you would like to be part of such conversation or any particular concerns that you would like to have them also participate. We would like to hear it from you, because we're on Instagram, we're on the Facebook, you got a phone number. Like, comment, share, and also let us know that how we can do this better. So it is here on this note from Team Better Dimapur and 90.8 Hills FM, the voice of change. We want to say thank you very much for being with us this evening, and we hope that you're going to continue supporting us. So on that note, let's just say bye. Thank you.